Welcome back to the Guy Dawson Show here at WCOBM.com, World Center of Broadcast Media. Please make sure to follow us on Facebook. The Guy Dawson Show and WCOBM are on Facebook, on YouTube. We are all over social media, so you definitely want to check us out. Today, it is my pleasure to introduce Jemry Secasas again. My name is Carintha Turvalon. I've stolen Guy Dawson's show from him today. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. I haven't stolen it from him. He should be back next week, folks. So today we've been talking about a really special cause. It's near and dear to both mine and Jemry's hearts. So I do want to ask a question in terms of, we've been talking about it a lot, but how do you feel, why do you keep doing it? Because there's sometimes where we were talking about it earlier, where you can do work for nonprofits and then at a certain point feel burnt out. But what keeps you motivated to keep working with special spaces?
Really, it's a combination of what we do afterwards, seeing those children's faces, and really the camaraderie of it. You go in at Saturday, 8 o'clock in the morning, but you don't have to if you volunteer. It's okay. We'll work with your schedule. And you know that you're in the same boat. You know that everyone showed up for the same exact reason. And you're there for the same cause, to brighten up this, not the child, the family's lives and their, just that special day for them. And you just know that you are doing something amazing, just by being there, just by decorating, helping them decorate, or helping them. We even have volunteers who just go out and play with them to kind of keep them out of the house, because this whole thing is a surprise, by the way, so the parents know, but the children did not know. So we have a lot of different volunteers. We have volunteers who just want to cook. Whatever you want to do, whatever your specialty is, if you can make something or do something, feel free to come. And really, it's just that. So I've brought not just my work family into this, but my other friends as well also want to volunteer, and they have another charity nonprofit of their own. And it's really just, I love that I'm able to speak about this.
Yes.
I love that I can spread it out. And even my friend, remember Ingrid?
Yes.
She still came she's now in Massachusetts, or in National Harbor.
Yes.
Sorry, Ingrid. And she's been gone for 6 months, but when she was here in Vegas, she still took the time to come and hang out with us, because this is a cause that's dear to both of our hearts. So it's really something that kind of stays with you for a while, because one, you're doing amazing work. 2, the people make it worth it. And 3, it's really, I would never do the things that I do if it wasn't for here.
I feel exactly the same way.
Right? You don't go home and say, I'm going to paint birdhouses.
Right.
Or I'm going to create a cityscape of New York and put it on my wall. I'm not artistic, but he really pushes you, and it's kind of an amazing time.
Absolutely. It definitely is. And it is all worth it. All of it.
Yeah. Because we've both been involved with different nonprofits.
Yes.
But for one reason or another, there's an end point. Because sometimes it's too emotionally taxing, right? Or you just don't get the time for it, or whatever the reason could be. But really, for this, it's perfect. It's once every other month. And we know the dates beforehand, we know the addresses beforehand, and the themes, really, that's what keeps me going.
Oh, yeah. We have some fantastic themes. I mean, we've done everything from Star Wars, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
the
Flamingo Room. Yes. We did a whole castle, medieval.
Oh, that was
forest
amazing.
There was a whole forest scene going on in her room.
He built that turret.
Yes.
That turret that she can actually go up.
Yes. Yes.
Stand on top of her bed and role play that she's a princess. So, and actually someone also donated princess outfits for her and her sisters.
Yes.
So yeah, it was amazing.
Absolutely. And just the pictures were just fantastic from that one. Just fantastic. I do want to talk to you too about some work that you do. So you actually help out on the administrative side also. This is something that, you know, doesn't get talked about, but there's the other side of nonprofit work in terms of actually, you know, calculating the volunteer hours, which can be quite a process, very, very tedious. Can you kind of talk about that process for our viewers?
Sure. I'm happy that one of where actually work, we are able to do a team grant. And so not all you have to do, but what you have to do is form a team of 4 to 10 employees, and every time you go and volunteer, you keep track of those hours and you submit it, and every hour has every level has a dollar value that you can turn in, and that actually goes back to the nonprofit of your choice. So what Corintha was talking about is for 1 year, one calendar year, we had our team of about 12 regular employees that would go and just donate their time, and it has to be a calendar year. And of course, I couldn't make it to all of the events, but I made sure that people would send me their hours, and I would have the correct dates, the correct hours, the correct employee, and turn it in. And of course, that gets checked by someone because. But once that everything is approved and we turn that in, we were actually able to get the full amount, which is $3,000.
So exciting.
Yeah, we had a little kind of like party.
Yes.
To celebrate all the hard work that we did for 2016, and that was also amazing because it wasn't just for our volunteers. It was everyone who would like to volunteer and everyone that did volunteer that couldn't make it for the later dates. It really was just for everyone who actually, a lot of people I didn't even know,
right?
Because Hero was getting items from his workplace from the side.
Yes. Yes.
So it was kind of great to see really bring together everyone who's worked with his projects in one capacity or another, whether by donating money or donating items or donating ideas, actually, or anything. So it's,
absolutely.
Yeah. So the grunt work is it's okay. It's doable. It's not too bad. I got to know these people. So. Yes. Yeah. I do want to kind of send a special note out there for our folks. If you work for MGM Resorts and you would like to volunteer for special spaces, please get in touch with myself or with Jemry, especially because what she's talking about is that anytime you volunteer with us, we can count it as part of those volunteer hours that could help us to raise that money again this year. So please, 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 if you work for MGM Resorts, let us know and we will get you the right. We'll make sure that your hours are counted. We'll help you with that process. We'll be happy to. Yeah. That's exciting. Yeah.
So, okay, so in terms of special spaces, so one thing that viewers should know too is that this is not just a Las Vegas based organization.
No.
It's actually based in Knoxville, Tennessee, and the folks there do an amazing job. That's where their headquarters are located. Those are the folks that we work with in terms of sending the money to and that
making sure all taxes are
administrative, all of that stuff. But also too, we want to definitely give a shout out to the entire nation, because last I checked on the website, did you know that since 2004 they've actually added 34 chapters across the nation?
That's
34
amazing.
chapters. And these are 34 chapters that were all started by volunteers. No one is getting paid for this work. This is all something that we do out of the kindness of our hearts, because we really want to support these children that really are in terrible situations.
And in these situations, we never know the outcome.
Right.
We actually had one child who we were unable to start the room because they unfortunately passed away. So it's one of those that I think that's when it hits me.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
When you're planning the room and all of a sudden you cannot go further with the room.
Yeah.
And I think that's the saddest part usually, but there's also the greatest part when you can complete the room.
Yes.
So I know those 34 chapters, that's probably what's keeping their momentum going.
Absolutely.
So, and it's amazing because I know the West Coast, is actually one of the bigger ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
We have more fun. No, I'm just kidding.
It's because you have more daylight.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's hilarious.
West Coast is the best coast.
Well, it does say something though. I mean, it's easier to do these projects when it's nicer weather outside, you know, because we do utilize a little bit of their yard, their driveway, you know.
So most of the times we have carpenters who are making items.
Yes.
So they're in the driveway.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so you just have to be prepared. If the door is going to be left open the whole day, you have to have a jacket, or you can be cooking, or
anything.
Anything.
You have to be up for anything on these. You know, of course, no one's going to ask you to do anything you're not comfortable with. But what's interesting about it is I literally walk past and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a power tool. You know, I mean, you just don't know what you're going to see on these events. You know, who's going to be working on what and how they're putting it together, and it's really magical. It really. There's hours of work that go into the actual room renovation, but that's just the day of. That doesn't even include all the hours of time that Hero and volunteers like us put in with spending time with the families to find out what they really want. That's really where it starts. Also, too, if you know of a family in which their child is someone that you feel would qualify for a special space, please reach out to us and let us know. You know, that's what we're here for. We want to make sure that those folks out there that, you know, it may be you or it may be someone you know of that your child is, you know of a child in that particular situation. We would love to help out. We would love to take the money that we get in our donations and definitely put that towards making that child happier, healthier child. So, you know that we are here for you for that.
Right.
And also too, so, you know, I think for me too, it's what's really nice is when I'm done with when we're doing the room renovations, I end up at some point usually interviewing someone who's in the family. And for me, I feel like it's really interesting because you find out all these things in the backstory that you didn't know. Like for example, this last room that we did, she's been fighting leukemia since she was 3 years old.
Yeah.
3 years old.
And she's 7 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 4 years.
Yes.
Of this little girl going in and out of hospitals, doing blood transfusions and whatever she needs to do to get better. And now she's clear.
She is. She only has to see a doctor every 3 months. And she's doing really, really well. And you know, I think for me, what really kind of keeps me going in these situations, and you know, it's so funny because I could be thinking that, oh my gosh, I'm having a terrible day, and then I'm like,
and the
oh
last
crap,
thing you want to do is volunteer,
right? Or call someone, you know, and talk to one of the moms. And then it was funny because I remember I was just swamped, I had a horrible day, I had too much going on, and I remember calling I called one of the mothers. And you know, generally just asking how her day was going. And she's, you know, the first thing she's telling me about is how her and her son just got home from chemo.
Yeah.
It puts your whole life into perspective.
Oh, yeah.
You're really thinking okay, you know what? I didn't have a bad day.
Right.
You know, it really, but it's you know, we're laughing about it, but it's a serious thing, and it's something in which I appreciate doing this kind of work because it humbles me, and it keeps my perspective real and grounded in reality and honesty and truth. And I feel that, you know, sometimes we can get away from that. So that's a good reason if you're looking for a reason to volunteer for this amazing cause. That's a really good reason to volunteer. You will definitely learn from these families and how they keep things together. And you know, in general, the positivity I've seen from every single family, you don't ever feel. When you're in their house, you never feel uncomfortable. You never feel
They're so
negative.
Open.
They're very
They're
open.
so happy to have us there, even though we're kicking them out of their house for 8 hours.
Yeah.
But no, it's amazing. I mean, so just to kind of recap everything, the way we do this is we would get a folder from Hero of who our next child is going to be, our next family, and then we kind of do a brainstorming session of decoration ideas, theme ideas, but he'll pretty much hone in. It's like it's going to be ocean theme or Star Wars Lego or something that is really near and dear to that child's heart. And then we kind of just run with it and be like, okay, this is what we can do. We can do for the Star Wars room, I came up with the ceiling idea, the curtain in the ceiling to make it look more like you're in outer space.
Wow.
So, and that one, I don't even know who had to get up there. I don't know what kind of licenses they had to get
It wasn't
up
you.
there. Yeah, it wasn't me. But it was my idea. So it was just like that that collaboration, which is really amazing. And then the day of, so you'll probably have a couple of interactions with the family, just from phone calls or to actually visiting them in the hospital to see the child. And then we actually do the build out day. So that's when we go into their home and we have our good friend Tammy, who is amazing, and she actually brings them somewhere in order to occupy them, to kind of get their mind out of whatever they're dealing with. And she has a great day planned with them. Usually involves dolphins, so it's kind of amazing. So kind of piece that together. And then we go in the room and we just we renovate everything, renovate that room, and then we have an amazing donation always from Burger Bar.
Yes.
So and they're
always
an amazing help to us. They keep us fed, and so we have energy to work throughout. And the last couple of times they've done special cakes, which is amazing because it's another thing. It's the icing really throughout the whole day, because that's when you really come around after the reveal with the child and the family of the room. That's when you come downstairs in the kitchen and you huddle, and that's when stories get swapped, and it's really it's a great ending to the day.
It absolutely is. I think for me too, it doesn't matter how exhausted I am after that day, depending on what we've had to do. It doesn't matter how exhausted I am. When we get to that very end of the day and the child has seen the room and they're super excited, and we're just kind of mingling with the family and kind of getting ready to leave, pack up and leave. I feel like it's that moment where you really feel like you've accomplished something and you've made a difference in somebody's life.
And we also, funny enough, keep in touch with these families. That's the craziest thing. So Tammy met someone from her very first room, from the Hello Kitty room, and that she's doing well. And that's about 2-3 years ago. Yes. So, and then we keep up with James through his Facebook profile. Yes. And then actually there was another room that she would come. Yes. To our events. Yes. So.
It's all about the continuous process of giving, I feel like. The Hello Kitty room, I think, is who you're thinking of. The mom comes and gives she cooks and she brings food for us at our events, and it's just fantastic. It really speaks to the generosity of spirit in terms of, not just what we're doing, but when someone has been the recipient of that, and they're so appreciative of it that they want to keep giving back. And we have another family like that too, the Bishop family as well. Yeah. And so, it's just incredible. We're just super, super happy that, that we're able to interact with them. And what's really nice is when you go, I've had the chance or opportunity to actually see one of the rooms afterwards, and they keep it up.
Oh,
they definitely keep it up. They love their room. They love their space. The child who was the recipient of it, they want to keep their room that way. Because for them, that is truly their special space for healing and for all of their needs at home. Where they can't get that in the hospital in such a stark place of where they are getting their actual treatment. So to be able to come home to that is just fantastic for them. And Jemry, I really appreciate the work that you do. You are absolutely wonderful.
You're there with me. So.
I am. We're in the trenches together. Yes. We're kind of like special spaces soldiers, like peeking out from the trenches,
From our flower crowns or our birdhouses.
Yes, with our flower crowns.
Our planets are...
Yes. Absolutely. No, Jemry, and there's a host of other volunteers out there. I do want to take this time to say thank you. If you have ever donated any time to any Special Spaces organization, either here in Las Vegas or across the nation, I want to take the time to say thank you, because we appreciate what you do, and we personally have seen the wonderful, wonderful effects of it and how it helps to heal children in their lives and in everything that they're doing. So with that, Jemry, I feel like we've had a wonderful show. Thank you so much for tuning into the Guy Dawson Show today. We hope you have a wonderful afternoon, and we will see you next week at 2 p.m. on WCOBM.com.